Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video I want to discuss with you a concept, not a concept, a rule for life, I guess you could say. Why women are attracted to men of virtue and men of confidence, and why being virtuous naturally and effortlessly makes you confident, okay? And why that attracts women. Why being a good man attracts women. Why being a good man attracts good women, okay? Because we are what we attract. We don't want not good women, okay? They may allure you and pull you in, but those are not the women you want. You want good women and women of virtue, just as you are or as you're going to develop, okay? So let's get into it. And I want to simplify this concept to you in regards to, I like to call it your center, but this is who you really are. When you're born as a soul, you get put into a body. And I'm going to talk in regards to being a man, because I'm a man, and that's kind of what this is geared for. When you're a soul and you get thrown into a body, what are the characteristics? What are the characteristics that your soul is embodied with, or already has, or grammar? Is it filled with envy and jealousy and all these insecurity and feeling ugly and shyness and weakness and impulsiveness and emotion? Is that the character? No, it's not. That doesn't exist in the soul, right? Who you are naturally when you are born, before you get programmed from the world, you are noble naturally, right? This is your center. You're noble. You're honorable. You're kind. You're generous. You're graceful. You're willful. And then as a man, there's more geared towards men. You're purposeful. You're mission driven. You're ambitious. These are natural traits that are within you. And you may think to the contrary, well, no, I don't think so because blah, 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 blah. You're speaking in terms of how you're feeling. And how you're feeling is not who you are. That is an illusion that's covering up who you really and truly are. And a good example of this actually is men out there. You know, you can relate with me. You ever watch Lord of the Rings? You ever watch Gladiator or The 300 or Braveheart? Maybe the Pacific or some kind of war movie where you have this greater cause and these heroes, and they're sacrificing their lives for this cause, and you feel it as a man. You feel invigorate, right? It's touching something deep within you, and that's because it's touching and aligning with your core of who you are. And that core person is selfless and noble and honorable and willful and purpose driven, and it's a beautiful thing. And I believe General Patton, if I recall, I may be butchering this, but he said, give a man a purpose and he'll crawl through glass to achieve it. And I think you can relate on that level. You get that purpose, or you even see it in films, and it builds something inside of you. Now, why am I explaining this to you? Why am I explaining what your core is? Right? Because I want you to have a baseline of understanding of this is who you are, right? It's specific towards you, right? You have your own little twist on it, right? Because we're all individuals. We have our own kind of soul fingerprint, if you will, and we're a little different from each other. But although we may display the same traits, we still have our fingerprint of our own personality, I guess you could say. Now, why am I explaining this, and why is this important? This is important because as you move on in life and you get programmed by movies and TV shows and parents and friends and cousins and everybody and books and whatever, they're influencing you and adding to you. A lot of times, and most of the time, those additions are going to be negative, and they're going to not be aligned with your core. And a good example of that is you walk through the mall or you walk anywhere and you see someone fat, for example, you deem fat or you deem ugly. What's your first response? You go negative, like, oh, that person's ugly, right? That's how you describe them. Let's be real here. That person's ugly, or that person's fat, or that person's, right? You're judging. What are you doing? Well, you're misaligning your core, because your core here is noble. That's not a very noble thing to do, to judge someone negatively. The noble thing to do would be you see someone fat and think, instead of that initial thought of, or let's say you do have that initial thought like, oh, they're ugly. No, I want you to come back to your core of being noble and look at that person and say, I hope they get healthy, and I pray, I bless them. And I bless them, and hopefully they get healthy, right? You give them something rather than giving them nothing. And that's very important. And again, I want to get back to, because I kind of went off on a little tangent, why is this core important, and why is exercising the traits of virtue every day, every moment, why is that important? Well, this has to do with everything. This has to do with you feeling insecure, you feeling ugly, you feeling not confident, you feeling, envious and jealous and lack and all these negative traits, because you're not exercising this core. So anytime you're not exercising who you are and you become misaligned and you start exercising what is not of your core, you are naturally, without you trying, and effortlessly going to feel insecure, effortlessly going to feel ugly, effortlessly going to feel terrible about yourself, effortlessly going to feel anxious and stressed and horrible when you exercise those traits that are not aligned with your core. But if you exercise the traits that are aligned with your core as a man, nobility, right, honor, sticking to your word, even not making little white lies throughout the day. They may not seem big at the time when you make them, but they misalign your core just a little bit every moment, and that is feeding a natural building of this horrible energy within you. And the trick is, day by day, moment by moment, if you exercise these traits that are aligned with your core of doing the noble thing, not lying, being kind, being generous, being graceful to someone, giving them grace, giving them the benefit of the doubt, for example. I'm not saying let them cross over your boundaries and walk over you, but what I am saying is maybe someone cuts you off on the highway. I don't know what they're going through. Maybe they're late for a job interview that they need, and they're about to go homeless if they don't get the job interview, and they're late and they're trying to get there on time. Give people grace. And when you exercise this character, right, I promise you're going to feel the difference in a week. Naturally and effortlessly, you're going to feel confident. You're going to feel beautiful and not insecure and not as anxious and not as stressed and not as all these terrible traits. You're going to feel naturally confident without you even trying, right? Without you coming up with tips and tricks of, hey, talk to 1,000 people and you feel confident. Those have their places, and I've done that, where I've talked to, I can't even tell you the amount of people that I've had conversations with, random people that I don't know, how many women that I went to practice my, to gain confidence and practice talking and all these things. And when I went home, they're good in navigating conversations, sure, but when I went home, I didn't feel confident, right? And that's because I was not attacking the root of the issue. The root of the issue was I was not acting in accordance and in line with my true character. And when you do that, you act in accordance with your true character, and you're in line with your true character. You need not have tips and tricks to be confident and be this and, okay, how do I not feel insecure? Well, do this and do that and, go to blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, to not feel insecure, to not feel ugly, is act in accordance with your core, right? And when you do that, you align yourself with who you truly are. You're not giving that energy away to this, right? You're keeping it here. And naturally, your body, your soul radiates more of that energy, because that's what it is. You're giving your body life, and God is giving your soul life, and your soul is giving your body life, right? And that is going to be the over arching power in your life, is this noble character. And women are attracted to these noble men. Women are attracted to these good men, these virtuous men, because why? Virtue is strength. To be calm when a woman is losing her mind, for example, or because a woman is chaos. So when she's in a chaotic moment, and you maintain virtue as a man, and you maintain calmness while she's the storm, right? That's strength. And when you resist her in that manner, you maintain consistency with these virtuous traits, and you are her rock, and you are her mountain, and she can. What does that do when you maintain these virtuous traits? It's strength for her. And what that strength does is it gives her the safety and the comfortability to naturally be herself and allow her essence to come out. And what is her essence is femininity. Her heart's going to open up to you, and she's going to be a lot more loving, a lot more feminine, a lot more kind. Men will always say, my woman is not feminine, or she's not having sex with me a lot, and this and that and the other. Well, that's just because she's not feeling safe and comfortable, because you are not displaying your natural strength, your natural virtue as a man. And when you display that, exercise, how do you display it? Exercise it every day with small acts. Even if you don't feel in the mood, do it. And in a week, in a month, in a year, I don't care how long it takes, you're going to see that difference. You're going to feel that difference, and you're going to see the difference with her. She's going to open her heart to you and be a lot more feminine and soft. And why does that virtue attract her physically and emotionally towards you? Because that's strength. And that strength makes her, again, I'm going to harp on this, that strength of you being that mountain for almost her sword and shield walking into the world. She feels safe and comfortable behind you. She will open up to you. And these virtuous traits, being noble and honorable and kind, are sexually attractive to women. Find it sexually attractive when you are integrity, when you stick to your word, when you do the right thing, when you are calm when things are going bad, when you're driven on your purpose and willful to go accomplish a higher purpose. All these things are sexually attractive to her, because she's attracted to strength. While you're attracted to, she gets naked and you're like, oh, I'm ready to go, right? And I harped on this in the last, I believe in the last video, where she gets naked and you're like, I'm ready to go. That's not the same for a woman. When you display these traits of virtue and strength, that's what flips the switch for a woman. Not not jumping. You get naked, she's not going to be like, yes. She will if you've been displaying those strength characteristics, and she's going to find you physically more attractive just naturally. When you display these virtuous traits, naturally she's going to look at you and for some reason find you even more attractive than she did before, right? Because her attraction doesn't lie in your physicality. Yes, initially a woman has to look at you and say, yeah, I'm attracted to this man, sure. But he doesn't have to be Brad Pitt. You don't have to be Brad Pitt. You just have to be the mountain of virtue and strength for her. And naturally, that is going to attract amazing women. That is going to not only attract amazing women, and when you have these relationships, you're going to ask like, oh, but how do I maintain it? How do I this? How do maintain it? By maintaining yourself, by maintaining virtue and strength. And naturally, she's going to fall in love with that. And to harp on one more, another point of women, don't fall into her storm. That's natural, and that's beautiful, and that's why we're attracted to women, is that storm, right? Believe it or not, is there's the storm, and then there's the calm, and then there's the storm, and then there's the calm. It can be minute by minute, day by whatever it is. That's what attracts us to women. It's that polarity, it's that pull. All you have to do while that's going on, don't be insecure, or don't be afraid, don't be this, don't be that. Actually, you're not even going to be that, because as long as you continue to maintain that mountain, that strength, that calmness of virtue, you will have effortless relationships. You will have natural relationships. She will naturally open herself to you, and it truly is a beautiful thing. And when she does, she's going to give you so much love that you don't know what to do with, and you're going to get so much love for her, and you have no other way to use it except give it right back to her. And you guys are going to grow in this beautiful dance of masculine and feminine, You're going to grow in this beautiful dance of you being her rock and strength, and her opening up and giving you that love, and you getting more strong and being a more stalwart rock. And that's just going to keep building. And I want to also harp on um, these traits, the nobility, the honor, the this, that. I'm not saying they're not traits that women don't have. They definitely do have them naturally. Women are graceful and honorable and noble beings and beautiful beings, amazing. I mean, God, you know what I'm talking about, okay? But women have their specific sect and direction where it naturally feels, or naturally feels where their soul. Where I was talking about with a man, it's that mountain and strength. For women, it's different, right? They are that oceanic depth of weather and chaos, but also calm and beauty. Women are nature. We love nature as men. We go out to nature to calm ourselves. Well, women are nature. She is the embodiment of it. She can be incredibly beautiful, but incredibly wrathful. And that's why we love them. And what we have to be in nature are those big oak trees that don't fall when the storm comes, or the big mountains that don't fall, and they create a beautiful and effortless relationship. Right? Nature has a way of working its way to perfection. So that's what I have for you guys to conclude or recap. Women are attracted to men of virtue and confidence. Be a man of virtue. Naturally, you're going to be confident, and naturally, you're going to attract good women, and naturally, they're going to be sexually attracted to those traits and to you. And as long as you exercise this character, right? That's all you got to worry about. Exercise this character of love and ability and kindness and honor and strength and willfulness and purpose. I promise you, you're going to have a beautiful life and a beautiful wife and beautiful children. Yeah, that's what I have for you guys today. I hope you get something from this video. It's a little long. I hope you do get something from this video and that changes a little part about your life. And yeah, have a great night, great morning, great day, whatever you guys are doing. You're going to work and you're feeling a little stressed. Again, just come back and just remember, let me exercise some of these things today, and your life will change, I promise you. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one.